Heartbreaking betrayal teased, the best and worst of before WrestleMania 40, Rikishi on Roman Reigns and The Rock's savage beatdown on Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. WWE's location of Clash at the Castle leaked. Unseen footage shows what Cody Rhodes did after the Bloodline went backstage. When Raw went off-air, Roman Reigns suffers big botch on WWE RAW. The Rock sends a non-PG message to Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins after Raw, and more. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Let's dive right in. The best and worst of before WrestleMania 40. The final episode of WWE RAW before WrestleMania 40 felt like it. All Red brand matches received their final build, a majority of which was positive. A few things were also organized for the show of shows. However, not everything about the show was excellent. There were a few mishaps on WWE RAW, but the good outweighed the bad. So without further ado, here are the top talking points from WWE RAW. Number 3. Best/worst. Ricochet performs on WWE RAW, but not at WrestleMania 40. It's bad Ricochet isn't on the WrestleMania 40 card. The beloved High Flyer is one of WWE RAW's top superstars in the ring, and he showed it on purpose tonight. He faced Ivar in an epic match, culminating in an astonishing act of strength. Ricochet defeated him with a fall-away slam and the 630 splash. Unfortunately, this was to get him ready for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on SmackDown. The only good is that Ricochet's feud with the Judgment Day will continue. Andrade is expected to fight the former Intercontinental Champion shortly, possibly on WWE RAW following WrestleMania. That should be another banger. Number 2. Worst. Dirty Dom's days are numbered. Speaking of the Judgment Day, it appears that Dominic Mysterio's time with the group may be coming to an end shortly. Tonight on WWE RAW, he unexpectedly invited Legado del Fantasma to their clubhouse. That's a massive no-no, and Damian Priest even took Dirty Dom to one side to confront him. Tension among all members is palpable, indicating that significant changes are on the horizon for the Judgment Day. One of these will most likely be Dominic Mysterio permanently joining Santos Escobar's group, extending their relationship beyond WrestleMania 40. Given Andrade's on-screen relationship with Dominic, it's unclear what that would mean for him. It would be a tragedy to see him leave his family after they had grown so close. Is all of this just for darts? Number 2. Best. WrestleMania arrives early for Mommy and the Man. After a lackluster argument in Ariel Helwani's studio, Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch returned with a bang on WWE RAW. The WrestleMania opponents got into a major brawl on the go-home show, despite Adam Pearce employing a number of security officers to keep them away. Lynch and Ripley tore into each other while also fighting the guards. Their brawl continued backstage, while an angry Pearce watched on. This was the ideal way to wrap up the build for Rhea Ripley's battle versus Becky Lynch. The excitement is palpable, and many believe the women will steal the show at WrestleMania 40. Number 1. Worst. Is Chad turning heel? Chad Gable's involvement in the Intercontinental Championship storyline ahead of WrestleMania 40 might be a harbinger of change. WWE RAW aired a vignette of him teaching Sami Zayn for his match against Gunther, but there could be another motivation. This indicates that Gable has control of his chances at WrestleMania 40. What if he's still upset over his loss to Zayn and wants to defeat the ring general himself? It's plausible after Gunther attacked the former Olympian off-camera during WWE RAW. These selfish motivations could explain why Chad Gable is invested in Sami Zayn's pursuit of the IC title. Hopefully that is not the case and he will stay babyface until his ultimate battle with Gunther. Number 1. Best. The Tribal Chief has finally arrived. It feels like we've been waiting forever for Roman Reigns to remind everyone that he's the champion. After more than a month of The Rock overshadowing him, the Tribal Chief decided to take action. Granted, he's still a level below the final boss in terms of intimidation, but Reigns performed well on WWE RAW after he and The Rock launched the show and appeared that the big use was exiting the arena. However, Roman Reigns appeared at the main event. Seth Rollins' Bloodline Rules match with Solo Sikoa ended in a no contest due to intervention from Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, The Rock, Cody Rhodes, and the Tribal Chief. The mayhem was fantastic and served as an excellent teaser for WrestleMania 40. Reigns and Rock laid down Rollins and Rhodes, who were destroyed with a weight belt. While not as intense as WWE RAW last week, this beatdown was effective. It was almost uncomfortable, but it didn't go overboard. That is indicative of an effective go-home portion. The world now wants to see Seth Rollins and in particular, Cody Rhodes get their retribution on the Bloodlines. Mission completed. Next up, Dominic Mysterio getting kicked out of the Judgment Day. WWE superstar Dominic Mysterio has recently been involved in more bouts than he previously had as a member of the Judgment Day. Dirty Dom will team up with Santos Escobar to face Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee at WrestleMania XL. The father-son team will compete at the grandest stage of them all for the second consecutive year. Still, Dirty Dom's recent actions have generated conflict inside the Judgment Day, as he looks to be working closely with Escobar and Legado del Fantasma as WrestleMania XL approaches. On the most recent Monday Night Raw, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest confronted Mysterio after the latter unexpectedly allowed Escobar and the Legado del Fantasma into the locker room. This friction could indicate that Dominic Mysterio is on his way out of the Judgment Day, particularly if he joins Legado del Fantasma permanently. In this situation, Dirty Dom's successor will be none other than Andrade, who made an unexpected entrance during the segment and encountered the Legado del Fantasma and the Judgment Day. WWE's location of Clash at the Castle leaked. WWE surprised fans with a preview of this year's Clash at the Castle Premium Live event on the most recent edition of Raw. A promo ran during tonight's show, and the poster for the Premium Live event has fans believing that it will be held in Scotland, United Kingdom. The poster depicts a darkish castle with a blue light shining over it. That wasn't much to go on, but fans have focused their attention on and examined this year's Clash at the Castle logo. The logo depicts a lion that is strikingly similar to the one found on the Royal Banner of Scotland. This could imply that Drew McIntyre will return to his home nation for the VIP live event. Fans believe Clash at the Castle will take place in Scotland, possibly in Edinburgh or Glasgow. One fan even offered that it take place in Ibrox Stadium, the home of Rangers Football Club, Drew McIntyre's favorite football team. WWE SmackDown superstar Alba Fyre appeared to confirm that Clash at the Castle would be staged in Glasgow. She shared a now-deleted X/Twitter post with an apparent poster for the event, which depicts Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Jey Uso. Fans got a screenshot of Fyre's post, which shows that the WWE roster will perform in Scotland on June 15, 2024. It'll be fascinating to see if the premium live event takes place in Scotland, United Kingdom. Next up, unseen footage shows what Cody Rhodes did after the Bloodline went backstage when Raw went off air. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins were left screaming in pain as tonight's episode of Raw concluded, but what happened after the show went off the air? During the final seconds of WWE RAW, the Bloodlines Roman Reigns and The Rock brutally beat the two baby faces. The four men are scheduled to wrestle in a big tag team bout on night one of WrestleMania XL. Cody Rhodes managed to get up when the event ended. He then announced to the packed house that he would win the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania XL. The American Nightmare has had a hard few weeks. On last week's broadcast of Raw, The Rock dealt him the worst beating of his life outside the stadium, leaving him in a pool of blood. Many fans expected the American Nightmare to wreak retribution on The Rock on tonight's edition of Raw, but this did not happen. Instead, Roman Reigns joined him this time, and the duo dominated Rhodes and Rollins. Was this a Bloodline hint for what the babyface duo might expect at the show's shows? Only time will tell. Roman Reigns suffers big botch on WWE RAW. On tonight's episode of Raw, WWE superstar Roman Reigns made a hilarious mistake. The final section of Raw had the Bloodline beating up Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. The Rock and Reigns viciously pummeled the two baby faces before standing up to close the show. While brawling with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns tripped over a piece of the announce table. The Tribal Chief immediately recovered and continued thrashing Rollins. Reigns will headline his fourth consecutive WrestleMania on nights 1 and 2 of WrestleMania XL. He has been the undisputed WWE Universal Champion when he defeated Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship 2 years ago. He is determined to leave WrestleMania XL with his hand raised. Reigns hopes to win the tag team bout on night 1 of WrestleMania. If he and The Rock win the fight, the main event of night 2 will be held under Bloodline rules. This would give the Tribal Chief a huge advantage, increasing his chances of retaining the belt tenfold. Next up, The Rock sends a non-PG message to Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins after Raw. After the horrific beatdown on the two superstars on WWE RAW, The Rock had a message for them. After a beating on Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, the Bloodline stood tall at the end of tonight's episode of Raw. The Great One and the Tribal Chief had no mercy on their WrestleMania XL opponents. WWE has released a video of The Rock and the Bloodline heading backstage following the brawl. The Brahma Bull can be seen saying the following: "F them. Hollywood Rock was one of the best personalities in pro wrestling during the early 2000s. The gimmick came to an end in mid-2003 when Dwayne Johnson left for Hollywood again. Many fans had given up hope of ever seeing the renowned persona on WWE television again." Rikishi on Roman Reigns and The Rock's savage beatdown on Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Rikishi, a WWE Hall of Famer, has reacted to The Rock and Roman Reigns' brutal beating of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins on Raw. After the episode ended, real-life Bloodline member Rikishi turned to Instagram to respond to the closing section of Raw. The relationship between the Great One and the Tribal Chief is arguably the most dominant tag team in WWE history. The two veterans are the biggest superstars in WWE history, and it will be difficult for the baby faces to defeat them at Mania. Rikishi has been constantly studying the product for quite some time. He earlier stated that the tribal chief would win the main event on the grandest stage of them all. Only time will tell whether he wins his 4th consecutive WrestleMania main event. Will the same storyline play out on night 1 of WrestleMania XL? Comment in the comments section. And thank you for viewing, subscribe for more wrestling stuff, and see you in the next video.